Freedom is not a gift, it is a conquest, a horizon you claim through the unrelenting forge of discipline. The world will tempt you with shortcuts, promising liberty through ease, instant gratification, or fleeting inspiration. But these are mirages, leading only to chains of regret. True freedom, financial, emotional, spiritual, is built on the steel of discipline, the daily choice to act with purpose over comfort. Napoleon Hill, the relentless architect of human triumph, studied those who won their freedom: Edison, Carnegie, Ford, Lincoln, men who understood that discipline is not a burden, but the shortest path to the life you deserve. They didn't chase fleeting pleasures, they forged empires through consistent, deliberate effort. You stand at the edge of your own liberation, the choice before you stark. Will you drift, seduced by the illusion of ease, or will you wield discipline as your compass, carving a path to freedom that nothing can deny? The truth is simple: discipline is the shortcut to freedom, and the time to start is now. Your mind is a forge, a molten crucible where every thought is shaped into liberty or limitation. Hill taught that the mind is the starting point of all achievement, but it is also the breeding ground of all confinement. Most people remain trapped, their minds cluttered with excuses, distractions, and the lure of instant reward. Your thoughts are not neutral, they are architects, building either bridges to freedom or walls of stagnation. Picture a river, its current fierce and unyielding, cutting through stone to create canyons. Your mind is that river. Channel it with discipline, guide it with purpose, and it will carve a path to abundance. But let it stagnate, let it be muddied by procrastination or fear, and it will pull into regret. To claim freedom, you must master your mind, choosing thoughts that align with the life you deserve, not the habits that keep you bound. Act as if you are already the person whose mind is a disciplined fortress, and your thoughts will forge the steel of your liberation. Belief is the spark that ignites the forge. It is not a timid hope or a fleeting wish, it is a fire, a defiant conviction that you are worthy of freedom. Hill called it faith, not in some distant force, but in the infinite potential within you. Most people remain trapped because they believe freedom is for others, that they are not enough to claim it. Doubt is a cunning thief, creeping in with lies. You're not ready. You've failed before. It's too hard. But look at those who broke free. Abraham Lincoln, mocked as a backwoods lawyer, believed he could lead a nation to liberty. Walt Disney, bankrupt and broken, believed in a mouse that would charm the world. They were not born with keys to freedom, they forged them with belief. Belief is not about ignoring your constraints, it is about seeing the truth beyond them. It is standing in a cage and envisioning an open sky, staring at an empty wallet and seeing a future of abundance. Act as if you are already the person whose belief burns so fiercely it melts every chain, and let it propel you toward freedom. Clarity is the lens that sharpens belief into purpose. Without it, you are a ship adrift, tossed by the waves of distraction and indecision. Most people remain trapped, chasing vague desires or the approval of others, never defining what freedom means to them. Hill taught that desire is the spark of all achievement, but desire without direction is a wildfire, beautiful, but destructive. Picture your life as a vast, uncharted ocean. Which star will you sail toward? Not the one society points to, not the one fear permits, but the one that sets your soul ablaze. Clarity is not a gift, it is a conquest, won by interrogating your heart. What is your freedom? Not just wealth, but the life it enables: security, impact, joy. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Let the answers cut through the fog like a lighthouse. Clarity is not a single epiphany, it is a fire, built question by question, choice by choice, until your destination burns as bright as the dawn. Act as if you are already the person who knows their course, and let clarity steer your disciplined path. Vision is clarity's air, the blueprint of your liberation. It is not enough to know what you want, you must see it, feel it, live it in your bones. Most people remain trapped because their visions are faint, clouded by fear or the belief they don't deserve more. Vision is the architect's plan, the sculptor's sketch, the composer's melody before the first note. Andrew Carnegie did not just want wealth, he saw steel bridges spanning rivers, factories humming with life, a nation transformed. His vision was so vivid it pulled him through betrayal and hardship. Your vision must be just as real. Close your eyes. See the freedom you deserve, not the life you're stuck in, but the one that makes your heart thunder. See the bank account that reflects your discipline, the life that embodies your purpose, the legacy you'll leave. Write it down. Speak it into existence. Let it become a flame that no doubt can extinguish. Act as if you are already the person whose vision burns so brightly it lights the way, and reality will bend to your will. Purpose is the fuel that feeds your vision. It is the why that makes the how possible. Most people remain trapped because they lack a reason to endure the grind of discipline, a cause that pulls them through the pain of effort. Purpose is not a lofty ideal, it is a force, a North Star guiding you through the darkness. Viktor Frankl, who survived Auschwitz, said that those who found meaning could endure anything. Your purpose need not be grand, it need only be yours. It might be to secure your family's future, to create something that lasts, to prove to yourself what's possible. Hill studied Henry Ford, who did not just build cars, he built a legacy of progress, a world where movement was freedom. Ford's purpose was not profit, it was possibility. Find your why. Let it be the heartbeat of your journey, the fire that carries you further than talent or luck. Act as if you are already the person driven by a purpose so fierce it cannot be extinguished, and let it anchor every disciplined choice you make. Discipline is the steel that holds purpose in place. It is the daily choice to act over procrastinate, to choose effort over ease, to build rather than drift. Most people remain trapped because they surrender to comfort, waiting for inspiration that never comes. Discipline is saying no to that temptation, showing up when you're tired, when you're afraid, when the world offers every excuse to quit. Hill marveled at Thomas Edison, who worked through 10,000 failures to invent the light bulb. Edison's genius was not inborn, it was forged by discipline. You are not your feelings. You are not your fatigue. You are your choices. Discipline is choosing to act when every fiber craves rest, acting as if you are already the person who commands their destiny. It is the daily deposit in the bank of your future self, the unwavering vow that you will not betray your dreams. Act as if you are already the person whose discipline is unyielding, forging habits that build freedom, not confinement, day by day, in the silence where no one watches. Action is discipline's air, the tangible proof of your resolve. Most people remain trapped because they wait for the perfect plan, the right moment, the absence of fear. Action is not perfection, it is motion. The world rewards the bold, not the flawless. Hill's philosophy was about creating the moment, not waiting for it. Edison did not wait for the light bulb to invent itself. He tried, failed, adjusted, tried again. Each failure was a step, each step a victory. What is your next step? Not the grand leap, but the one action you can take today to claim your freedom. Take it. Then take another. Momentum is a force of nature, and it begins with a single push. Action is the bridge between your mind and the world, the moment your vision takes root in reality. Act as if you are already the person who moves without hesitation, and courage will follow in your wake. Gratitude is the quiet power that keeps your fire burning. It is not a shallow platitude, it is a lens, a way of seeing that transforms struggle into strength. Hill believed that gratitude aligned the mind with abundance, tuning it to opportunity rather than lack. Most people remain trapped because they focus on what they lack, letting resentment dim their vision. Look around you. The breath in your lungs, the chance to try again, the lessons carved into your failures, they are treasures. Andrew Carnegie, at the height of his wealth, said his greatest riches were his ability to appreciate what he had. Gratitude does not erase hardship, it gives you the strength to face it. It reminds you that you are not a victim of your journey, you are its captain. In the moments when the path feels steep, pause. Breathe. Find one thing, no matter how small, that anchors you to hope. Let it ground you, and then keep moving. Act as if you are already the person who finds gratitude in the struggle, and let it stoke your fire without wavering. Adaptability is the compass that steers your disciplined ship through the tempests of life. The journey to freedom is not a calm voyage, it is a turbulent sea, shifting with challenges, setbacks, and unforeseen currents. Most people remain trapped, clinging to rigid plans or the illusion of ease, believing their path must be predictable to lead to liberation. But those who claim freedom embrace change as a navigator embraces the wind, using it to propel their course. Napoleon Hill's contemporaries, like John D. Rockefeller, built empires not because they avoided disruption, but because they thrived in it. When markets shifted, when rivals rose, they pivoted, innovated, endured. Darwin did not say the strongest survive, he said the most adaptable do. Your pursuit of freedom will demand you evolve, your strategies will falter, your expectations will shatter. That is not defeat, it is the crucible of your liberation. Learn from it. Adjust. Keep sailing. The person who achieves freedom is not rigid, they are fluid, like a ship riding the waves. Adaptability is not compromise, it is mastery, the disciplined resolve to shape your course no matter the storm. Act as if you are already the navigator who bends without breaking, and the seas will part for your fire. Resilience is adaptability's twin, the unyielding refusal to let the storms of life chain you to confinement. The path to freedom is strewn with trials, financial struggles, rejections, moments of crushing doubt that threaten to anchor you to a lesser life. Most people remain trapped, believing these storms define them, that their hardships are proof they cannot break free. But resilience is the choice to rise, to act as if you are already the person who overcomes. Hill taught that every adversity carries the seed of an equivalent benefit, a hidden opportunity waiting to be seized. Abraham Lincoln faced relentless loss, elections, loved ones, a nation at war, yet he rose, again and again, because his purpose was his anchor. Your scars are not chains, they are proof of your strength. Look at the struggles you faced, the doubts you've silenced, the moments you thought you couldn't go on. They are not your defeat, they are your forge. Find the seed in your hardships. Nurture it. Let it fuel you. The world respects those who rise, not those who never fall. Act as if you are already the person whose resilience is a beacon, and let no storm keep you bound. Learning is the wind that fills your sails with wisdom. The person who claims freedom is not static, they are a student, ever growing, ever evolving. Most people remain trapped because they fear the effort of growth, believing they've learned enough or that knowledge is a luxury they can't afford. Hill spent decades studying the successful Edison, Carnegie, Ford, not to idolize them, but to dissect their methods. He was a student until the end, and so must you be. Learning is not a chore, it is a rebellion against confinement, a refusal to let ignorance tether you to the shore. Read. Listen. Question. Seek mentors, not to follow blindly, but to stand on their shoulders. Thomas Edison's genius was not a gift, it was built, experiment by experiment, book by book. The world is a classroom, and every experience is a lesson. Failures teach more than successes. Critics sharpen more than compliments. Embrace them. Let them refine you. Act as if you are already the person who craves growth, who sees every lesson as a step toward freedom. The universe opens its secrets to those who learn with relentless discipline. Courage is the heartbeat of learning. It is not the absence of fear, but the choice to act in spite of it. The world amplifies fear, whispering that the journey to freedom is too perilous, the risks too great, the seas too vast. Most people remain trapped, paralyzed by this voice, waiting for fear to subside. But courage is the fire that burns through fear, the decision to act as if you are already the person who conquers. Hill studied men like Henry Ford, who faced ridicule for his horseless carriage, yet sailed forward, undeterred by the world's laughter. Courage is not a feeling, it is a choice, a vow to move even when your heart races. J.K. Rowling, rejected by 12 publishers, could have buried her manuscript. Instead, she acted as if she were already the author who would change the world, and that courage birthed Harry Potter, a phenomenon that enchanted millions. Your courage is your power. Act, and fear will bow. Move, and the path will appear. Act as if you are already the warrior whose fire cannot be quenched, and let your courage propel you through every tempest. Autosuggestion is the silent rudder that steers your courage. Hill taught that the subconscious mind is a fertile garden, and every thought you plant takes root. Most people remain trapped because they let their minds grow wild, overrun by weeds of doubt and hesitation, believing scarcity is their fate. Autosuggestion is not wishful thinking, it is a deliberate act of planting the seeds of freedom. Oprah Winfrey, born into poverty and pain, could have believed she was nothing. Instead, she spoke a different truth. She stood before mirrors, before empty rooms, and declared her worth. "I am destined for greatness," she told herself, and her mind listened. That belief carried her from a small-town newsroom to a global empire. You are the gardener of your soul. Speak to yourself with conviction. Write your vision in bold letters. Say, "I am capable. I am unstoppable. I am free." Let those words sink into your core. They are not empty, they are the seeds of your liberation. Act as if you are already the person whose mind is a disciplined fortress, and your fire will blaze through any darkness. Mastermind alliances are the crew that strengthens your ship. He'll believe that no one claims freedom alone. Your vision is a flame, but it burns brighter when surrounded by others who share your fire. Most people remain trapped because they surround themselves with doubters, with voices that reinforce confinement, fearing the effort of seeking better company. A mastermind is not a casual gathering, it is a coalition of minds, a circle of dreamers who challenge you, sharpen you, lift you higher. Andrew Carnegie surrounded himself with advisors who were smarter than he was. He did not fear their brilliance, he harnessed it, building an empire that transformed a nation. Look at your circle. Are they anchors or sails? Do they hold you back or propel you forward? Seek those who see your potential, who hold you accountable, who refuse to let you settle. Steve Jobs did not build Apple alone, he had Wozniak, designers, visionaries who shared his dream. Your mastermind might be mentors, peers, even the wisdom of books. Act as if you are already the person who builds alliances that fuel their fire, and let them carry you to shores you cannot reach alone. Sacrifice is the price of your fire's endurance. Freedom demands a trade, a willing exchange of comfort for conquest. Most people remain trapped because they flinch, unwilling to let go of the familiar, believing they can claim freedom without cost. Hill studied men like Thomas Edison, who sacrificed sleep, security, and approval to chase his vision. Sacrifice is not loss, it is investment. Serena Williams sacrificed parties, rest, the carefree life of youth to train, to compete, to win. She acted as if she were already a legend, and it made her one. What are you willing to give up? The late night scrolling? The toxic relationships that drain your soul? The fear of being seen? Sacrifice is not punishment, it is power. Every no to the trivial is a yes to your destiny. Act as if you are already the person who pays the price without hesitation, and the universe will reward your disciplined resolve with the strength to sail on. Time is the tide that carries your fire forward. Most people remain trapped because they waste it, letting hours slip away in distractions, procrastination, or the demands of others. Hill warned that drifting, living without purpose, is the greatest tragedy of all. The clock is ticking, not to scare you, but to awaken you. Marie Curie, toiling in a freezing shed, discovered radium because she treated time like gold. She acted as if every moment mattered, and it changed the world. Audit your days. Where does your time go? Does it serve your freedom, or does it tether you to confinement? Cut what does not matter. Protect your hours like a fortress. Time is not your enemy, it is your tide, and every moment is a chance to sail closer to abundance. Act as if each second is a step toward your destiny, and let your disciplined fire burn with unrelenting intensity. Persistence is the relentless pulse of your fire. The journey to freedom is not a sprint, it is a marathon, demanding you keep burning through setbacks, doubts, and exhaustion. Most people remain trapped because they quit, believing the struggle is a sign they're not worthy. Hill called persistence the sustained effort that builds faith, the refusal to let obstacles anchor you. Elon Musk watched his first rockets explode, his companies teeter on the edge of collapse. Yet he persisted, acting as if he were already the visionary who would change the world. Persistence is not about never falling, it is about rising every time you do. The world will slam doors in your face, laugh at your ambition, tempt you to quit. But persistence is the voice that says, "Not today." It is the courage to knock on one more door, to take one more step, to act as if the next attempt will be the one that sets you free. Keep burning, your disciplined resolve a thunder that shakes the seas. Keep burning, your disciplined resolve a thunder that shakes the seas. The storms of life will not relent, but neither will you. Discipline is not just a tool, it is the sculptor's chisel, carving your freedom from the raw stone of your potential. Every choice you make, every moment you choose effort over ease, is a stroke that shapes the life you deserve. The world may tempt you to drift, to seek freedom in fleeting pleasures or empty promises, but you know the truth. The shortcut to freedom is paved with discipline, a path only the bold dare to tread. Napoleon Hill's philosophy, forged through the lives of giants, is your compass. Freedom is not found in waiting for the perfect wind, it is won by sailing through the storm, day after day, with a fire that no wave can extinguish. You are not here to be tossed by the tides, you are here to command them, to claim a freedom so profound it reshapes the world around you. Faith is the invisible tide that lifts your ship above the storms. It is not a fleeting hope, but a blazing conviction that your freedom is not just possible, it is your destiny. The world will try to swamp this belief, whispering that your struggles are too heavy, your resources too scarce, your dreams too vast. Most people remain trapped, letting doubt anchor them to a life of confinement. Hill described faith as a state of mind, a belief so fierce it aligns the universe to your will. Nelson Mandela, locked in a cell for 27 years, did not just hope for a free South Africa, he acted as if he were already the leader who would forge it. That faith carried him through darkness, isolation, and despair. Your faith must be just as unyielding. It is not about ignoring the waves, it is about knowing your fire is stronger. Faith is the whisper that says, "This is not the end." It is the courage to sail as if your freedom is inevitable, even when the seas rage. Write your destiny on your heart. Carry it like a lighthouse. Let it guide you through the fog. Act as if you are already the person whose faith burns so brightly it lights the way to liberty. Imagination is the sail that catches the wind of faith. Hill taught that the imagination is the shipyard where all plans are crafted, where your freedom takes shape before it touches the world. Most people remain trapped because they cage their imagination, believing their reality is fixed, their limits set, their wallets doomed to stay empty. There are two kinds of imagination: synthetic, which reshapes existing ideas, and creative, which taps into the infinite intelligence of the universe. Walt Disney was a master of both. Bankrupt, mocked, told his dreams were childish, he acted as if he were already the visionary who would bring joy to millions. He saw castles, characters, entire kingdoms before a single brick was laid. Disneyland was not built with money, it was built with imagination. Your mind is the same shipyard. Close your eyes. See the freedom you deserve, not the life you're stuck in, but the one that sets your soul ablaze. See the wealth you'll create, the impact you'll make, the legacy you'll leave. Let that image fill your sails. The world cannot resist a mind that dares to dream without limits. Act as if you are already the dreamer whose disciplined vision charts the course to abundance. Influence is the wake that spreads your fire across the seas. Your freedom is not a solitary harbor, it is a lighthouse, capable of guiding others to their own shores of plenty. Most people remain trapped because they focus only on their own voyage, never realizing their power to inspire, fearing the weight of impact. Hill's mastermind principle was not just about receiving support, but about giving it, creating a cycle of growth that multiplies. Harriet Tubman, who escaped slavery's chains, did not stop at her own freedom, she acted as if she were already the liberator who would lead hundreds to safety. Her disciplined courage became a beacon, igniting hope in countless hearts. Your influence is your power to shift the tides. It is the encouragement that lifts a friend, the idea that sparks a movement, the example that shows others they too can claim freedom through discipline. You are not here to hoard your fire, you are here to share it. Who will you guide? What will you start? Act as if you are already the lighthouse whose flame lights the way for others, and let your wake ripple through the world. Commitment is the anchor that steadies your ship in the storm. It is the unwavering vow to live with discipline, no matter the cost, no matter the waves. The world tempts you to drift, to chase fleeting pleasures, to settle for the safety of confinement. Most people remain trapped because they waver, their dreams fading under the weight of indecision. Hill studied titans like John D. Rockefeller, who faced vilification, betrayal, and chaos, yet acted as if he were already the architect of a nation's progress. Commitment is not a feeling, it is a promise, a pledge you make to yourself when the seas grow rough. Maya Angelou, who rose from trauma to become a voice for millions, acted as if she were already the beacon who would lift others. Her disciplined commitment turned words into a legacy. Your commitment is your anchor. It is the voice that says, "I will not turn back." It is the fire that burns when all else fades. Make your vow. Write it in stone. Let it guide you through the tempests. Act as if you are already the captain whose resolve is unbreakable, and let your commitment steer your course. Joy is the warmth of your fire's endurance. The disciplined path to freedom is not a grim toll, it is a dance, a celebration of the life you're forging. Most people remain trapped because they see struggle as punishment, letting it drain the light from their journey. Hill believed that a positive mental attitude was the key to unlocking opportunity. Joy is not the absence of hardship, it is the choice to find meaning in it. Walt Disney, battered by bankruptcy and betrayal, never lost his childlike wonder. He acted as if he were already the creator of worlds, and that joy built an empire. Your journey will be turbulent. There will be nights when doubt weighs like an anchor, days when the storms threaten to capsize you. But in those moments, seek joy. Find it in the small victories, the disciplined step you took, the fear you faced, the dream you held fast. Joy is the warmth that keeps your fire burning. It is the reminder that you are not just enduring, you are thriving, sculpting a life that sings with purpose. Act as if you are already the person who finds joy in the struggle, and let it illuminate your seas. Connection is the crew that strengthens your fire. Your freedom is not a solitary spark, it is a blaze that grows brighter when shared. Most people remain trapped because they sail alone, fearing the vulnerability of connection, believing they must prove their worth in isolation. Hill's philosophy was rooted in the power of connection, the idea that we rise together or sink apart. Martin Luther King Jr. did not dream alone. He acted as if he were already the leader of a movement, standing with thousands, marching with millions, speaking for those whose voices were silenced. His disciplined fire was amplified by connection, by the hands he held, the hearts he moved. Seek your tribe. Find those who see your fire and fan it, who challenge you to sail farther, who remind you of your purpose when the seas grow rough. Connection is not weakness, it is strength. It is the courage to be vulnerable, to share your dreams, to ask for help. You are not diminished by others, you are magnified. Act as if you are already the person who builds bridges, not walls, and watch your fire spread across the oceans. Humility is the quiet compass that keeps your fire true. It is not self-doubt, but the recognition that your freedom is part of a larger voyage. Most people remain trapped because pride blinds them, refusing the wisdom of others, believing they must stand above to shine. Hill taught that the most successful were those who listened to mentors, critics, even adversaries. Humility kept Carnegie grounded as he built his empire, kept Edison curious as he chased the impossible. It is the willingness to say, "I don't know, but I will learn." The world is a chorus of voices, some will cheer, some will condemn. Humility lets you hear them all without losing your course. It reminds you that your fire is not above others, but beside them. Stay humble, not to dim your flame, but to let it burn brighter. Act as if you are already the person who serves, who lifts others as they rise, and your freedom will grow without bounds. Infinite intelligence is the unseen tide that lifts your disciplined fire. Hill believed that the mind is a receiver, capable of tapping into a universal reservoir of wisdom and inspiration. Most people remain trapped because they never listen, too caught in the noise of their doubts. This is not mysticism, it is the spark of creation that pulses through every inventor, every dreamer. Marie Curie did not discover radium by chance. She acted as if she were already the scientist who would change the world, tuning her mind to the frequency of possibility. You have the same access. In the quiet moments, when you silence the world's clamor, you can feel it, a whisper, a vision, a truth that burns brighter than fear. Trust it. Nurture it. Let it guide you. Infinite intelligence is the tide that carries your fire, the compass in your hand. Act as if you are already the person who receives these gifts, and the universe will guide your ship to shores of plenty. Legacy is the fire you leave burning in the world. Your freedom is not just a harbor for today, it is a lighthouse for tomorrow, a blaze that outlives you. Most people remain trapped because they chase fleeting sparks, measuring their worth in temporary gains. Hill believed that true freedom is achieved in service to something larger. Malala Yousafzai did not just survive, she acted as if she were already a global voice, leaving a legacy of education and empowerment. Your legacy is the warmth you leave behind. It is the lives you touch, the hearts you ignite, the dreams that sail because you dared to claim freedom. Ask yourself, what fire will you leave? Not for your ego, but for the world. Your freedom is not complete until it sets others ablaze. Now, stand at the helm of your ship. Look back at the shores you've left, the doubts you've burned, the fears you've conquered, the disciplined steps you've taken. They are not accidents. They are the forge that shaped you. You are not the person who stood trembling at the edge. You are a force, a creator, a flame. The world is not the same because you chose discipline. But this is not the end, it is the beginning. Your freedom is not a treasure to hoard, but a fire to share. You are here to build, to inspire, to leave a blaze that echoes through time. The seas were rough, but your fire is fiercer. The doubts were loud, but your discipline is louder. Close your eyes. See the freedom you were born to claim, not the life you once settled for, but the one you deserve. See the wealth you'll create, the impact you'll make, the legacy you'll leave. Feel the heat of your fire, the weight of your resolve, the pulse of your destiny. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not when you're ready, but now. The clock is ticking, not to limit you, but to remind you, you have everything you need. Your mind is the forge, your belief the flame, your discipline the hammer. What will you create? Step forward. Discipline is the shortcut to freedom. Claim your liberty with every breath, every choice, every step. The world is not waiting for you to feel worthy, it is waiting for you to act worthy. You are not here to drift, to doubt, to remain trapped. You are here to sail, to create, to blaze. Go now. Set the world alight with your fire. Your time is now.